A very good evening to all of you. We are just going to start within a minute.
Good evening, Chanchalajan ma'am. Priyanka Rathi ma'am, good evening.
Very good evening, sir. Should I start, sir?
Uh, Chanchala ma'am, yes. Yes, ma'am, please start.
Okay. Chanchla ma'am, if you are there, please give me an indication so that I can start today's program. Ma'am, are you there? Sir, I think so. Might be she is not available. Just we will start within 1 or 2 minutes. She has not responded yet.
Okay, ma'am, okay.
Chanchla ma'am, if you are available, can we start? A very good evening to all of you. I, Dr. Priyanka Rathi, welcome all of you for our 5 days program on International Faculty Development Program, Business Analytics and Intelligence, organized by Research Foundation of India, sponsored by World Virtual Conference Forum, JHERF, World Federation of Science and Technology, International Research Guide Federation, Academic Research Guide Association, EDU, Academic INC. I welcome all of you for our second day. Today's topic is Basics of Statistical Tools for Quantitative Research using SPSS. Our today's expert is Dr. Chanchila Jain. She is a master trainer and research expert. She is also author of many books. She is having experience of more than 11 years in management and commerce as an assistant professor. She is co-founder of Urja Counseling and Training Indore. Presently, she is working as assistant professor in Prestige Institute of Management and Research Indore. She is also the co-coordinator of IQASE at PIMR. As a research expert and trainer, she has conducted many workshops and FDPs on SPSS module, research papers written, research paper writing, and analysis through our program. Recently, she has completed one research project related to the medical field, which has been presented before the Central Ministry. She has chaired and co chaired various conferences. She has rich experience of more than 10 years in research, and with this, she has more than 42 research papers published in various Scopus, national, and international journals. She has also presented research paper in more than 20 conferences and won 5 Best Paper Award at JIMS Delhi, Pacific University Udaipur, and 3 in Prestige Indore. Four research scholars are pursuing their PhD degree under her guidance. She has also guided more than 500 students in their major and minor research projects. As an author, she has also written a book on a crucial problem of our society, along with a co author titled as Atmahatya Kyun. I welcome Dr. Chansal Jain for our today's expert lecture, ma'am. Dice is all yours. Ma'am, your mic is muted. Sajla, ma'am, if you are able to hear me, your mic is muted. Might be there is some issue with her link. She is logging back. Kindly wait. Yeah, ma'am is there. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, your mic is muted. If you're No, ma'am, you are not audible. Can you use another device? No, ma'am, you are not audible. I can just understand your lip that they are moving, else you are not able. No, ma'am, you are. Is there any device by you which you can use your voice? No, ma'am, you are not audible. I can just see you and can just see you that you are saying something. Yeah, please drop a message over here. I can see that. Otherwise, I can see you that you are saying something. Yeah, please. We can wait. Yeah, we can wait for you, ma'am. Your lecture is very valuable. We can wait. Yes, Avni ma'am. Please message what's your issue. You have raised hand. Yes, ma'am. You. I am able to see you. Ma'am, I am able to see you, but your voice is not audible. Can you connect another device? No, ma'am. You are not audible yet. I can just see you. Can anybody else message in the messenger chat box that are they able to hear, ma'am? Because, ma'am, I am not able to hear you. Can anybody respond? RFI, can you hear Chanchila, ma'am? Okay. Okay, okay. Okay, ma'am, only I am audible, but you are not audible, Chanchila, ma'am. Can you just log in with some another device or some cell phone or something?
Chanchala ma'am, actually problem is in your mic.
Hello.
Yes ma'am.
Ma'am, you are audible, but you are echoing.
मैम आपके लैपटॉप के वॉइस को ऑफ कर दीजिए अभी.
No, ma'am, now you are not audible. Hmm.
Hello. Ma'am, am I audible now?
बस लैपटॉप के माइक को म्यूट कर दीजिए भाई.
Just a minute, sir. Now it is fine.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is absolutely
Okay.
fine. Thank
Yes.
God. I
Extremely
appear.
sorry. Yes.
It's
I think
really
after
okay,
so
ma'am.
long, actually after so long, I have joined through this device, ma'am. So I don't know why it is creating problem for me. Extremely
It's
sorry for it.
it's really okay, ma'am. We are so apt to this consequences. It's really a pleasure to have you on the dais for your valuable words. And without any no longer delay, let's start with the yeah
Definitely. Thank
yeah.
you so much, ma'am. Yeah, thank you, ma'am. So, first of all, very good evening to everyone present over here. Extremely sorry for the drama which had just happened. There was some problem, I think technical glitch at my end. So, extremely sorry for that. Before proceeding with the session, I want to extend a sincere gratitude towards Ajay Jain sir and the RFI family, Priyanka ma'am, for inviting me for taking this session. So, thank you everyone. And also I want to say to welcome to all the participants for showing their interest in this particular 5 days FDP. So as per the agenda, as per the topic, today I'm going to discuss the basics of statistics along with the application of SPSS. Means how we can do the or apply the concepts of statistics using SPSS that we are going to see today in this session, right? So yesterday, I think you have seen the descriptive and the inferential statistics. Today, I'm going to discuss that part along with the SPSS, right? So give me a second. I'm showing my screen. I'm showing my screen with all of you. Yes. So I think. Okay, I think I have shared my screen. Can anyone confirm me whether the screen is visible or not? Visible. Thank you so
Yes, ma'am.
much.
Your screen is visible.
Yes, thank you so much, ma'am. So, talking about the basics of statistics, I think when we talk about research, in research, generally, we talk about the firstly the selection of the topic. We need to select a particular topic. So through the intense literature review, we are generally searching a topic. After searching that topic, we need to talk about the previous studies which are generally conducted on the similar type of topic. So we are trying to jot down all the reviews which are related to that study till that particular period. And on the basis of that, we are trying to find the gap. So gap finding is very important. And generally, we can say the gap finding is nothing, but it is very similar to the topic which we have taken for conducting a particular research or study, right? So using that particular topic, we are then further deciding the objectives. We are creating or formulating the hypothesis. Then we are collecting the data, and then we are applying various statistical tools on that particular collected data. I think the title of the FDP is something related to the business intelligence and analytics, right? So when we talk about intelligence or the business intelligence, we know this thing that business is not intelligent, but in business, we can use the statistical things, we can use the concepts of statistics on the data which is available in the businesses, and that way we can draw a meaningful conclusions, we can make better decisions. So that is business intelligence, right? So the scope of statistics is very wide. It is not like we can only study statistics in the classroom, but after studying the concepts of statistics in the classroom, we can apply those concepts in the real world also, in the research field although also, and also in the business world, in the corporate world. So that way the scope of statistics is very wide, right? Now, if I talk about the basics of statistics, so generally statistics start with the term data. So whenever we talk about data, data means the raw observations which we are having. Once we are processing those observations, it becomes information for us, right? So in businesses, the informations are important rather than the data. We will have the huge number of data available with us, but without performing any kind of statistical concept on those data, we can not draw any kind of conclusion from that data, right? So starting with the first concept, that is, I hope whatever I'm writing it is visible, right? I'm increasing its size.
Yes, ma'am. Just the size of screen. If you can,
Yeah,
can
I
you
tried my
border the size of letter? Yeah, it's fine,
fine.
ma'am. Yeah,
Yeah,
ma'am.
yeah. Thank you, ma'am. So now, after writing this thing, now I can say when I talk about statistics, we need to know the types of data, right? So we know generally that data is quantitative and data can be qualitative also, right? So generally we can in statistics we can divide the data into two form: qualitative data and quantitative data. Quantitative data meaning is, can anyone tell me what do you mean by quantitative data? Yes, anyone?
which are countable, like figures.
Yes, very correct. Sir, may I know your name?
Dr. Sanjeev Gaur.
Yeah, very correct, sir. Very correct.
Which is
Sir has,
numeric, which is numeric, quantitatively measured, numerically measured in
yes,
numbers.
very correct. Yes, means the data which is available in the number form. That is the quantitative data, right? Qualitative data means the data which is not numeric, which we cannot count easily. That is qualitative data, right? Say, for example, if I talk about quantitative data, so if I say the weight of the participants, or maybe I can say the marks of the students in the class, or maybe the prices of shares can be the quantitative data, right? Similarly, if I say, just a minute, I have opened, meanwhile I have opened the SPSS also, it will save our time, right? Now talking about the qualitative data. So qualitative data which we cannot count, which we cannot measure, that is qualitative data, right? Say, for example, if I say the gender of a person, the religion of a person, the colors of the hairs, the color of the skin, these all can be the type of qualitative data. So these are qualitative in nature. We cannot quantify them, right? But the biggest limitation of statistics is that statistics cannot deal with the qualitative term. It can only deal with the numbers term, right? So say, for example, if I am saying gender, if I am saying occupation, if I am saying religion, if I am saying hair color, extract, etc. These can be some of the examples of qualitative variables. So say, for example, if I'm conducting a research and I'm asking the gender of a person, occupation of a person, so maybe the social economic status of a person. So that way, these all are the qualitative terms. So what is the use of asking such type of questions when we cannot process them in statistics? Can anyone give me the answer? Yes. Anyone? I hope I'm audible now.
Ma'am, you are properly audible.
Yeah.
Just
Okay.
recently, your screen got the sharing got stopped.
Okay. Okay. No, no issues, ma'am. Okay, no issues. But I think I have just asked a simple question from all of you. When we cannot measure qualitative term in statistics, so what is the use of those things in statistics? Why we are asking such kind of things in the questionnaire? Can anyone give me the answer of that? Why we are putting such kind of qualitative things in the questionnaire? Can anyone give me the answer for this? Yes.
We can assign some numeric value to them, such as male or female, male 1, female 2, and then we can count them and take the reference how many were male, how many were female.
Yes, very correct. May I know who was talking to me?
Myself, Imran.
Very, very correct, sir. Imran sir, very correct. Sir has said very correctly. Usually, as I said, the biggest limitation of statistics is it cannot deal with the qualitative term, right? So if I'm asking the gender, right? So if I'm asking the gender, that is a qualitative term, because generally people will answer male or female for this particular question, that what is your gender or gender of a person. So they'll write male or female, right, according to their gender. So that way we can convert, we can code such kind of qualitative data into the numeric form. I can give 1 to gender, or suppose 1 to male and or 2 to female, or vice versa, up to me. Whatever I want to give to male, I can give. Whatever I want to give to female, I can give. Because there 1 and 2 will have no meaning. They will only be used for the identification purpose. There is nothing used. We cannot make any comparison. Something like do, we cannot do with those kind of numbers if we are giving those number to the qualitative terms. Is it clear? I hope. Am I clear? Please be interactive. I think it is online session, so it is little tough to understand expressions and whether you people are getting me or not. So please, if you can answer me.
Yes, ma'am. Understand.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. So I think I started the journey of statistics from data. Then we have seen the types of data. We can say quantitative and qualitative. Then I tried to explain you the meaning of these two. Further, after collecting your data, after bifurcating your data, we can go for the coding of the data, right? So say, for example, if I am having male, female, such kind of data, right? So as I said, these are what? These are the qualitative terms for the statistics, and statistics cannot deal with them. So the sir said, Imran sir said, we can give them some numbers. So suppose I am depicting male by 1 and female by 2. So wherever the male is coming, I can give it to 1. Wherever the female is coming, we can give it to 2. Likewise. So now 1, 2, 1, 1, 2 are some numbers, and now these particular number can explain us the meaning, right? So that way we can say this way we can quantify our data by giving some number to them, but these number will have no meaning, right? Further, if I talk about the variable, so can anyone tell me what do you mean by variable?
Whose value can vary.
Yes, very correct. Variable means a entity whose values varies, right? Which can accept any value, that is variable, right? So say for example, if I say marks, or if I say suppose age, so age is what? Age is a variable. Age can accept any number. Person to person it is varying. For me, the age value will be something. For you, the age value will be something. So that way, age is a kind of variable which can accept any value which varies from person to person, from object to object, that is variable, right? So after understanding the meaning of variable, can anyone tell me how we can measure the variables? Can anyone tell me in statistics or in management field or in the field of academics or in the field of research, how we can measure variables? Anyone?
By framing question related to that particular variable.
Okay. Anyone else? I think this was the Imran sir, right, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Anyone else? Anyone else?
One measure of central tendency.
Measure of central tendency. I think Dipali ma'am said okay. Anyone else? I think when I say in the day-to-day life, if I want to buy vegetables or if I want to buy some solid kind of things, so we know the apparatus of measurement scales are available. Yes or no? If you will go in a market to buy water, you can say, give me a 1 liter bottle, 1 liter bottle of water, something like that. If you want to buy some cold drinks or something, so we know the measurement will be liter, milliliter, or something like that, right? Similarly, if we talk about variables in the research field or in the field of the statistics, so here we are having the measurement scales. I hope you people have heard this term. Yes?
Yes,
Anyone?
yes.
Yes. So it is nominal. Anyone else can tell me the name? Further names?
It's a ordinal and ratio scale, I think.
Okay. I think these are the 4 scales, right? Yes? nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. These are the 4 measurement scales available. Using these scales, we can measure a variable. Usually, if I want to say, because suppose if I am a marketing person, right, or I have opened a shop and I want to see the customer behavior, if I want to see the attitude of the customer or the perception of the customer. So perception, attitude, behavior, these are what? These are the variables, but or I can say these are the things which we cannot directly measure. Yes or no? Can I measure directly behavior? I have a scale. I can say the person has 1 liter of attitude or 2 liter of attitude, or the person is 1 inch, perception of the person is 1 inches or 2 inches. Can I say this thing?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Uh, I think I cannot say this thing, right?
No, no.
Yeah, I cannot say this thing. So for the purpose, there are certain scales were introduced. The scales were nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio, right? So if I say nominal scale generally we are using for identification purpose, right? Or for categorization purpose. This is the very basic scale, the very first scale. The sequence will always remain same, the sequence which I am showing you on a screen. Sequence will be this only, right? Firstly, we will say this is a nominal scale which we are using for the identification purpose or categorization purpose. Say for example, if I say gender, gender is a kind of nominal scale. Very simple example, gender. If I say male and female, so I can say I can divide the respondents on the 2 categories. These are the categories of the female, or this is the group of the female, this is the group of the male, right? So that way this is we are using for the identification purpose or categorization purpose. And apart from this, we cannot perform anything here in the nominal scale. Further, if I talk about ordinal scale, so here you can do the categorization as well, and also you can rank them or you can order them. So that is the ordinal scale. Say for example, if I say the person on the basis of their age, this is the young, right, adult, and the old age people. So I can say this thing, I can categorize the people on the basis of young people or middle-aged people or the old people, right? Similarly, I can say on the basis of their ages, I can rank them also, that these are the young people, these are the middle-aged people, these are the older people, right? So there is a order possible in that particular thing. So that way it is the ordinal. So in ordinal scale, we can categorize the respondents or the objects, and also we can rank them. That is ordinal. Interval, so that means this way you can understand in each scale, it has the characteristics or the features of its previous scale. So if I say interval, so it will have categorization also, it will have order also, and apart from that, it will have the equal difference, right? So the best example, usually we all have studied, I think if we are from the research field or we are doing researches, we all know, usually the best example for understanding the interval scale is the temperature scale, right? If I say the thermometer, we all have seen a thermometer, right? So the difference between 10 degrees Celsius and 15 degrees Celsius will be 5. Similarly, 15 and 20, the difference is 5. So that way the difference is equal. But the biggest problem of the interval scale is it has lacking of absolute zero. Absolute zero is missing in interval scale because arbitrary the scientist have kept a zero on a temperature scale and they assume that this is the 0 degree Celsius. But zero means the thing which we are measuring, it should be absent there. But at 0 degree also we can understand that temperature is present because we can feel cold at 0 degree. Na? So the nature of temperature is either we can feel cold or either we can feel hot, right? So if I say 0, 0 means there should be no cold or no hotness. But still at 0 degree Celsius we can feel cold. So that means the characteristics or feature of temperature is still present there. So we can call it as that we have kept a arbitrary zero at a temperature scale, right? But when we talk about a ratio scale, so ratio scale is It is having all the characteristics of its previous scale and it is having absolute zero. So, for example, the salary of a person is zero. Quite possible if person is not earning, salary or income will be zero, right? So that way, these are the four measurement scales. Using these scales, we can measure variables in the field of research or in the field of statistics. I hope it is clear to all. May I move ahead? Any response?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay, fine. Thank you. Now, talking about further, we will discuss the measures of central tendency. Can anyone tell me what do you mean by this? Yes? Anyone?
Ma'am,
Central
I
tendency is about
the mean, mode,
calculating
median, are modes
mean, median, and mode.
are some example of measure of central tendency in statistics.
Okay.
Mean, median, mode.
And
Hello?
the
Yes.
average point
Yes.
of the
Ma'am,
data, central behavior of
and
the
we can identify the centralization of data where the data is centralized at what value the data is centralized.
Okay. Okay. Fine, Dipali ma'am. Yes. Answer.
concentration of data to a point.
Concentration of the data of okay to a point. Okay. Anyone else?
Checking the data and the normal distribution curve, when where it is concentrated, where it is dispersed from a normal distribution curve standpoint.
Okay. Fine. Okay, fine. So now, if I say measures of central tendency, so measures means we will have certain methods, that is mean, median, and mode. Using those methods, right, we can find a central point or central value of a particular data set. So on the basis of that, we can say that central value will represent the whole data set or the whole series. This is known as measures of central tendency. Is it clear? So the methods are what? Methods are these are the three methods. Using that, we can find the central value or central point of our data, and that central point will represent the whole data set, right? So these three methods always are used by us to get that central value of the data. Further, moving towards to the measures of dispersion. So generally, dispersion means variability in the data. So usually that variability we will see using the mean figure, right? So from mean, how much deviation is available in the data, for that we can use measures of dispersion. So although there are various types of dispersion available in the statistics, but mainly if I talk about, so we can say standard deviation, variance are the most used dispersions. Using that we can find the variability in the data. Talking about the measures of distribution. So I think all know, I think you people have studied inferential statistics yesterday. So maybe people are knowing this thing if I say that for inferential statistics, say for example, if I say the t-test, right? If you are applying the t-test using any of the software, so generally we need to check that whether the data or whether the numeric variable is normally distributed or not. Yes or no? Yes. Anyone? Anyone? Hello? My screen is visible, I hope, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Hello? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
You are
ma'am,
audible,
you
ma'am.
are audible.
Yes, ma'am, you
I
are
hope you
audible.
people are listening to me.
Ma'am, you are
Yes, ma'am.
audible and we are able to listen you.
I'm not getting any voice.
Ma'am, might be people are not opening their mics and speaking. Otherwise, we are able to hear you and see your screen.
Shall I continue?
Yeah, ma'am, please continue.
Continue.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, please
Yes,
continue.
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, fine. So if I say measures of distribution, right? So I said this thing when we talk about inferential statistics. In case of inferential statistics, we need to see the normality of the data. And for checking the normality of the data, two things are very important, and these two things are skewness and kurtosis. So to see that distribution, we are using the measures skewness and kurtosis, right? Skewness will tell you the symmetry in the data, and kurtosis will tell you the shape of your data, whether that data is properly or tail of the data. If you are understanding the normal distribution, and if you have seen the bell-shaped curve, so using the kurtosis, we can see the tails or the nature of the tail of the data. That whether the tails are highly, what I can say that most of the data points are falling on the tails, or less data points are falling on the tails. So this kind of study we are doing using the kurtosis, right? So these two measures we are using for understanding the distribution of the data. So these are the very simple things about the statistics. So these all comes under the descriptive statistics. I hope this thing you have studied yesterday as well. So these are the descriptive statistics, right? Further, if I say talk about the inferential, so I think you people have studied inferential statistics yesterday. I can only give you a small recap of that. So if I say inferential statistics, so generally inferential statistics we are using to what I can say, to conclude about the population parameter using the sample statistic. So we can generally collect a sample. Using that sample, we can conclude something about the population. This is known as inferential statistics. And generally, we are using t-test, z-test, ANOVA, correlation, regression. These type of things we are generally using under that particular category of inferential statistics, right? Now I'll take you to the SPSS. So I am now switching to the SPSS window. I need your confirmation whether my screen of the SPSS window is visible to you people or not.
Visible, madam.
Okay, sir. Fine. Thank you. So now here you can see this is the SPSS window, right? Which is very similar to the Excel. So in Excel, we know this thing that this particular look of the SPSS is very similar to the look of the Excel. But the difference here you can find at the bottom, you can see there are two views. I am rotating my mouse. You can see first one is data view, second one is variable view. So that means there are only two sheets. First one for the data view, second one for the variable view. Now I have shifted to the variable view. You can see this is the variable view. Here we can define our variable. In Excel, we can enter so many worksheets in our workbook, but here you are having only these two sheets or these two views only, right? Data and the variable view. Apart from that, if you are performing any kind of statistics in SPSS, you will be landed to the next window, and this window is this particular output window. Is it fine? I hope, is it okay?
Okay, madam.
Yeah, talking about the SPSS now. So here, as I said, the variable view will help you to define your variable on these particular fields, on these particular parameters. Once you will define your variable here, you can come to the data view, and these whatever variable you are defining there in the variable view, they will become the heading of these columns under the data view. And here you can see this is the menu bar, or these are the various steps available. Using that, we can perform various kind of operations in SPSS, right? There is one dedicated menu available with the name Analyze. I think you people can see here. Once you will click on this, you can see all the related statistical tools are available under this particular head. Reports, descriptive statistics, compare means, regression, correlation, everything is available under this particular head. Apart from that, if you want to do any kind of visualization of the data using this graph, you can do that. If you want to make any kind of changes in your data, you can go to the transform. You can see the which type of if you want to change the look of this particular SPSS, you can go to the view. If you want to do or want to perform some editing type of things in the SPSS, you can go to the edit menu like this. So these are the few things available in SPSS. Using that, we can do the various kind of analysis of the data, right? Further, you can see, if I'll take you to the variable view. So here I'll let you know how we can define our variable here firstly, right? So first, if I talk about the variable, the first column is telling us the name. So here under the name, you need to give the name of your variable, right? So suppose I'm writing here age. So that way, this is the name of my variable. So now I'm shifting to the next uh, cell using the tab key of my laptop. So you can see once I have pressed the tab key, you would be able to see all the remaining cells are filled by the SPSS. So these are the by default values of these particular columns, right? So now if I say age, so the type of age is means age is which kind of variable according to SPSS, it is showing me numeric. So by default, SPSS take every variable as numeric variable. But if you want to make any changes in the type of variable, you can see here 3 dots are coming. So once you will click on these 3 dots, it will lend you to the variable type dialog box. Now here you can see these are the listed variety of the types of the variable. According to our need, we can make changes in that. But as I said, SPSS, I think I haven't said, but I want to tell you this thing, that SPSS is generally used for the quantitative studies, right? If I want to perform any quantitative analysis, so using SPSS, I can do easily with those things, right? So that way you need to generally keep the type of your variable as numeric until and unless you are having the variables like name, address, etc. For those variables, you can set the type as string. I hope it is clear. The first two columns are clear to everyone. Is it fine? May I move ahead?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now talking about width. So width is generally useful for the string variable. If your variable is numeric, so there is no use of the width column, right? Or the width option, right? Further moving up to the decimals. So decimals will use only for the numeric. It is not useful for the string. So by default, the value of decimal is 2. That means if you are entering a data, so it will show you up to 2 decimal point, right? If you are entering any number, it will show you up to 2 decimal point. If there is no decimal point available, it will give you 0.00, right? But if you will come here, you can see these are the up and down arrow. Using these up and down arrow, you can make or you can increase the values of their decimal places, or you can decrease them also, right? Further, talking about the label. So why the label is available in this particular SPSS? So label is used to define your variable very clearly, right? Here the problem with the first column, that is name, is that if I want to write here age of respondent, right? I have written here age of respondents. Now you can see still I am on the same cell, but now I am switching from this particular cell to the next using the tab key. You can see SPSS is throwing a message to me. It is saying me variable name contains an illegal character. Meaning is that if you are defining the name of your variable with more than one word, in that case you cannot keep a gap between the two alphabets, right? So this is the problem. So in that case, what I need to do, I need to write here either the underscore or the period sign. Now you can see I have shown you both the ways. Underscore is also not creating problem. Dot is not also not creating any problem, right? But I think it is not looking good to me. So I have removed this. Coming here, using the label, we can easily write age of respondents. And then when I'm switching from this to the next cell using the tab key, you can see no error or warning message coming to me. Is it clear to all? So label is available for writing the story about your variable, but in the name I cannot do that. If I want to create a name of variable using more than 2 words, in that case, or using more than 1 word, in that case I need to use either the underscore sign or the period sign. Is it clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I hope clear, right? No one is saying anything. So what I need to understand with this, is it clear or not? May I go ahead?
Yes, ma'am. Clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you people really listening to me?
Yes, madam.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, madam, we are able to hear you.
I'm feeling like I'm talking to a wall. Anyone is there?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
Is anyone there?
Yes, yes, madam. Can you
Priyanka,
hear
ma'am?
us?
Hello, am I in meeting or not? Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, you are
Please
audible.
continue.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You are
Yes,
audible.
ma'am.
Oh, Priyanka, ma'am?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am. Your screen is also
Hello?
visible. Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am.
Priyanka, ma'am?
Ma'am, I'm there.
Audible, ma'am.
Ma'am, you are audible. Am I audible? Can anybody check?
Hello?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
madam.
Yeah,
Madam,
yeah, ma'am.
maybe if you can enable
Chanchal,
the
ma'am?
chat, at least people will respond in chat. Chat is also disabled.
Okay,
Hello,
okay.
am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, you are audible. There is
Shall I
some.
continue?
Yeah, ma'am. Please, you
Priyanka, ma'am?
continue. Yes, ma'am. If you are able to see me.
Madam, please make the chat
Yoga,
available for
sir?
a minute.
Sir, there is a message from RFI team that there is some technical issue. That's why the chat is closed. Now the
Disable.
chat
Okay,
is.
okay. Then, ma'am, you just
Hello?
make a sign somewhere else by which they can understand.
Yes, ma'am. Chat is disabled.
Hello?
Ma'am, please
Am I
continue.
audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So shall I continue?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think rather than writing a message in chat, I think you people can speak to me. It is little difficult for me to understand whether people are listening to me or not. Because I am on other screen, I cannot see your screen. I cannot even read your messages also.
Ma'am, mic was disabled.
Okay, so I think I have left on the labels. I'm starting with the values.
Yeah.
Under, if I talk about values, right? So if suppose I am taking a next variable as gender, right? So in gender, if I am doing a coding of my variable, so I can write here what value I have given to which label. So I have written here 1 for male, I can add this. I have written here 2 for female, I can add this. And I can press OK. I can make this decimal point 0. And that way we can say we have defined the values. That is the meaning of whatever the numbers we have given to the categories, right? Missing values are 2 types in SPSS. First one is system defined. Second one is user defined. So if you want to define your missing values by your own, we can use this this particular missing value option under the variable view. Column size is by default 8. That means by default you can see approximate 8 characters. You can see here, I'll come to the data view. Here I am stretching this particular column, and we can see its impact here on the column size, right? Alignment, I think we all are aware with. Alignment is nothing. We are using the alignment the way we are using in Word or in Excel or in other software. Talking about the measure, so this measure is the same which we have just discussed. Here you can see the alignment of the Hello, am I audible? I think I was out of the meeting.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Now you are audible
Yeah.
and screen is also
Now
visible.
you are audible, madam.
So from where I need to repeat, can anyone tell me?
Ma'am, can you repeat from columns?
Columns.
Okay, fine. Thank you, ma'am. I'm repeating. So as I said, here you can see by default, the size of the column is 8. If I'll come to the data view, if I'm stretching this gender column, you can see I have stretched it. Now you can see its impact here. So the size has increased from 8 to 25 or 15 to 25, right? So that way it is showing only, it means this is only for the display purpose. Suppose I have written here the name of a person or the address of a person. So how much of that particular uh, content I want to see in a one go. So that way I can increase its size, and that will impact the this particular size of the column. Alignment is very similar to the alignment of Word and Excel, etc. We are doing, that is left align, right align, and the center align. So usually if I talk about the right align, you can see I'm coming here, and suppose if I'm writing here number, suppose I have entered here a age, right? So you can see it is showing me the right align. But if I will enter any string or any characters, that would be the left align, right? But if you want to change the alignment using these options, you can change the alignment. Coming to the measure is very similar the way we have studied measurement scales. That is, here you can see, although we have seen 4 types of measurement scale: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. In SPSS only 3 types are available, that is nominal and ordinal. Scale is comprising of interval and the ratio both. If your variable is interval or ratio, you can generally select the option scale, right? So these only things you need to see while defining the name of your variable. After defining your variable, you can come here and you can see these will become the heading of your, these will become the heading of this particular column of the data view. Suppose I'm entering here few figures, right? So that we can perform any kind of a statistical analysis on that. Done. Similarly, here you can see these dot signs are coming in the gender column. So what are these? These are nothing but these are showing the missing values, because we have entered the figures for the age, but for gender we haven't entered anything. So these are the missing values. So suppose I am writing this way, I have entered few this way I have entered few values in the gender and in the age variable. I hope these are visible. May I move ahead with the analysis part?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah. Now you can see, if I want to perform descriptive statistics using the SPSS, so I need to go to the analyze menu, and under the analyze menu, we can select the descriptive statistics. Here we can find the nature of the variable. So I want to find for the age variable. Firstly, I will go for the age variable. So I'll come here and go to the descriptives. I'll
Ma'am,
select descriptive.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, in age you selected scale. And
Yes.
gender, you selected another one. So why this is so?
Okay, I think I have discussed this thing when I was talking on the word form. You can see I have told you there are four measurement skills available: nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. As I said, in SPSS only three are available, that is nominal, ordinal, and scale. So scale is comprising of interval and ratio both, right? Now we need to see the nature of the variable. Firstly, which kind of variable we are having. So as we can say, we are having the age variable, we are having the gender variable, right? So age, if I have taken in terms of numbers, if I have asked the age of the persons directly, right? So that way that would be a particular number. So the number cannot be a nominal scale variable, number cannot be a ordinal scale variable, it will go to the interval or to the ratio scale, right? So that is why I have decided, I have taken the measurement type of the age as scale, right? Talking to the gender, gender is what? It is the categorical variable, because we can only categorize the respondent, that these are the male, these are the female. I cannot give any number. Number I have given only for my easiness purpose or for my statistical analysis purpose, 1 and 2, but there is no meaning of 1 and 2. I cannot say here that 1 is less than to 2 or 2 is greater than 1. There is no meaning, because 1 is depicting or denoting the male and 2 is telling me the female. Is it fine? So that is why we have selected the categorical variable, that is nominal.
Ma'am, in types, always in research, we will take, the first one, first and second one. It always be, it will be numeric or string we will also use in research.
I think that I initially I discussed this thing that qualitative data we will have the quantitative data, right? It is totally depending upon the type of study you are carrying on. You are carrying on a qualitative study or you are carrying on a quantitative study. If your studies are based on, suppose means if you want to do certain kind of hypothesis testing, and in the hypothesis you are having the numeric variable, you are having the qualitative variable. So in that case, we are converting qualitative variable in the numeric one by the coding, right? So
Right.
that way it is possible for us. But if totally your data which you are collecting, suppose you are doing an interview type of round with the participants or the respondents. So that way the data you are collecting, that is totally in qualitative, that would be totally qualitative in nature, right? So
Okay.
for that data, I think generally this thing we all know that whenever we talk about the qualitative data, there is a chances of biasness, right? Maybe the way person is saying to us, we are not recording the same thing. Suppose what I'm doing, I'm asking you your experience of this FDP, suppose, right? So I am sitting before you with the pen and copy in my hand, and I'm noting down whatever you are saying to me, right? So that way it is not always like whatever you are saying, same thing I'm noting it down. Might be possible once you have said something, I am writing it down, but maybe in my own words. Quite possible, right? So maybe it can change the meaning also. So that is the qualitative data, but still nowadays very softwares are available. Using those softwares you can go for the qualitative analysis also, right?
But in
But when
SPSS, it will be
yeah,
numeric always.
yes, usually when we talk about SPSS, so SPSS is mostly emphasizing for the quantitative data analysis. Is
Thank
it
you.
fine, sir?
Okay.
Okay. So I think now I can come here. Yeah. I think we were talking about the descriptive statistics in the SPSS now. So I'm going to the analyze menu. Here I'm selecting the descriptive statistics, and here you can go to the descriptives. So I will click on this. Once I'll click on this, the box will open for us. So here you can shift your variable for which you want to get the descriptive statistics. So I'm shifting the variable age using this arrow key in the variables box, right? Now, although you do not need to do anything for getting the descriptives, but still you can check here what is in options. So once you will click on options, it will give you the mean of the age, it will give you the standard deviation of the age, it will showing you minimum age and maximum age. Apart from that, if you want to calculate any other thing which is listed here in this box, you can do that. Suppose I am calculating kurtosis and skewness also. I am pressing on continue, and I can press OK to generate the output. I hope the output window is visible, right? Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. Now you can see, if I talk about the output of the descriptive statistics for age of respondents, you can see firstly the first column is saying N statistic, that is total observations. These were 15 in number. Minimum of the age is 19, maximum of the age is 46 years. Mean age is 35.93. Standard deviation of age is 8.940. Skewness value is coming as minus 0.826 and the kurtosis value is coming as minus 5.19, right? So I think initial 4 or 5 columns are very easy to understand for every one of you. We need to discuss about skewness and kurtosis, right? As I said, generally when we talk about the normal distribution or normality of the data, we need to see these two parameters, skewness and the kurtosis of the variable, especially for the numeric variable, right? So here age is the numeric variable. So for that, the skewness is coming as minus 0.826. So generally for the normal distribution or for the standard normal distribution, skewness value should be 0, means there should be no skewness in the data. Your data should be symmetrical to mean, means your data should be 50% to your mean value and 50% to the means left side of the mean value and 50% to the right side of the mean value. So this is the skewness, that is there is 0 skewness in the data, but this value is coming as minus 0.826. So usually it is not 0, but it is very close to 0. So somewhere we can say this thing, that age is approximately normally distributed. Similarly, talking about the kurtosis will tell you about the tails of the normal distribution curve. So generally kurtosis value should be in between minus 3 to plus 3. So this figure is minus 0.519. So we can say somewhere kurtosis is also saying the same story, that the age is the normally distributed variable, right? So this way, this is the descriptive statistics using the SPSS. Now I'll tell you one more way of calculating this descriptive statistics. You can go to the analyze menu again. You can come to the descriptive statistics and you can select the explore option. And here you can shift your age variable to the dependent list box. Come to the statistics. Here by default option is descriptives. We will go with that only. Go to the plots and here you can deselect stem and leaf as it is very older method. You can go to the histogram and then normality plots with tests. These two things are important. Apart from that, box plot will also be generated by SPSS for us. So I think this is what we can do using the explore option for the age variable. I am pressing continue. I am pressing OK, and you would be able to see the output here in the output window of SPSS. So you can see first is the case processing summary, which is very similar, that 15 observations we are having, there is no missing value in the data. So the total observations are 15. Now talking about the descriptives, it is giving you the mean age, it is giving you the mean 95% confidence interval for mean, which is lower range or lower bound is 30.98, upper bound is 40.88. 5% trimmed mean means 5% of the outliers if we are removing from both the sides, upper side and lower side. This will, it is giving the mean value as 36.31. Median is 38, variance is 79.9, standard deviation is 8.94, minimum of the age is 19, maximum of the age is 46, range of the age is 27. Range meaning maximum minus minimum is range. Interquartile range is third quartile, difference of third quartile and first quartile, which is 10. Skewness and kurtosis we have just seen in the upper table, so the values are very similar. Now this explore option will give you one more thing, and that thing is the Shapiro-Wilks test. Shapiro-Wilks test generally we are using to check the normality of the data. Means if we are not comfortable with the interpretation of the skewness and kurtosis and we are unable to interpret them properly, so we can use this explore option in SPSS, and using that we can find the Shapiro-Wilks test. Using that we can interpret the normality of the variable. So now you can see here the significance value for Shapiro-Wilks test is 0.053, which is greater than 0.05. Generally, level of significance in SPSS by default is 0.05. So we are comparing the significance with the 0.05. So we can say this is greater than 0.05. So if it is greater than 0.05, that means we can conclude that the age variable is normally distributed, right? Moving ahead, talking about the age of the respondent, and this would be the histogram. Although histogram is saying some other story, because if you look at the histogram, this histogram is not clearly depicting any shape. Any shape means bell-shaped curve is not coming here. So what you can do, you can double click on this, you can put this normal curve on this, you can close it, you can close this chart editor, and you can see this would be your normal distribution curve. So somewhere you can see one bar is exceeding this bell-shaped curve, it is not coming under this bell-shaped curve. And also if you see these tails of left and right side, you can find that there is difference. So might be we can say histogram is not clearly telling anything about the normality of the data. Talking about the QQ plot is again a little difficult to interpret, but still you can see if these points, which these points are the data points, if these points are following this fitted line, so somewhere we can say your variable is normally distributed. You do not need to interpret this. This is the extra output. Now coming to the box plot. So box plot will tell you that whether there is any outliers available in the data or not. Outliers is a study of outlier is very important in statistics, because if outliers are available in the data, they will definitely impact your results, right? So this would be totally the call of our researcher, whether with the help of the outliers you want to move ahead or not, because answerable will be us only if we are keeping the outliers in the data and still we are going ahead. So we need to give the answer why we have kept those outliers, whether they were important for us or not, right? So if dots or circles are coming beyond these whiskers, these are the whiskers, upper whisker and lower whisker. So if above these whiskers and lower whisker, we are getting some circles. So those circles are nothing but these are the depiction of the outliers in the data. Although we are not looking any circles here, so that way we can say there is no outlier available in the data. So this way, this is the study of the, or this way, this is the descriptive statistics we can do or we can perform in SPSS. I hope it is clear. Any doubts so far? Any doubt?
मैम kindly repeat kurtosis की value कितनी होनी चाहिए?
Usually, sir, it is -3 to +3.
+3. And this outlier will come with the same function, or we need to perform any other?
So looking at the box plot, we can find the outliers, right? If suppose, just a minute, I'll come to the my file, right? Suppose this is the data file, right? Suppose I'm making is 99. Done. I've made
Yes.
changes. Now I'm performing again the same explore option. Now you can see probably it will show us the outlier. See, this is the outlier.
Okay.
This asterisk means this is the significant outlier which is impacting our results. But if the this particular symbol is in form of circle are insignificant outliers, means if you can keep them still, you can keep them in your study and they will not much harm your analysis. But if the outliers are coming in the asterisk form, that means there is an alarming situation and you need to take a call whether you are keeping them in analysis or not. Right? So these are the significant outliers which can impact your results.
Right.
Right? You can see now your mean has changed. Mean is coming as 41.27. Previously, it was something else. Previously, it was, I think, 35.93. Because of the figure 99, it has changed drastically from 35 to 41. Right? Clear, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Moving ahead, talking about what extra we can perform in the SPSS. So you can see under the analyze menu, if I go to the compare means, I can compare the means for one sample t-test. I can compare the mean for two samples, that is independent samples, paired samples. If I am having more than two samples, I can go for the ANOVA also. So that type of study we can do in the compare means, right? So suppose you can see here, just a minute. Okay. Now I'm making the changes in my data for the purpose of some other study. Right now I'm coming to the variable view. Under the variable view, going to the values, I'm writing 1. Suppose 1 is 21 to 30. 2 is 31 to 40. Then 3 is 41 to 50. And okay. I hope it is clear to everyone what I did. I have converted this as 1, 2, 3, and I have defined the meaning of 1, 2, 3. So usually we are doing this thing only in the research. We are generally asking your age group we are giving, and we are asking the age in which lab you are coming, right? Something like, because generally it is a bad manner if we are asking the age directly from the person. So generally for making them comfortable, we are giving these labs, we are giving them the ranges, right? It is with what we are doing. Now if I want to compare the age, just a minute, I'm entering one more variable, because now I'm entering here the income variable, suppose, right? Now I'm taking some figures for income. I hope screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am, screen is visible.
Yeah, fine, ma'am. I'm copying down to save our time. I don't know why it is not performing. Done. I have entered few incomes also, and these are the age or gender also. Now I want to compare the income of male and female. So can anyone tell me what would be my hypothesis here? If I want to compare the income of male and female, what hypothesis I can make? Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
So we have made the hypothesis. There is no significant difference in the mean income of male and female, right? Now, I think here, if I want to check this hypothesis, which test would be suitable here? Can anyone tell me?
T-test, ma'am?
Which t-test, sir?
T-test.
One sample, independent sample, paired samples, t-test. Which sample? Which test?
Simple.
So
Simple.
one sample t-test.
Sorry?
One sample t-test.
One sample t-test. Okay. I think Pavitra sir is saying one sample. Anyone else? No answers? Okay. So if I am having two groups and I want to compare them, I can go for the independent sample t-test, right? So I am going to the analyze menu. Here you can see compare means, and under this you can find independent samples t-test, right? I'm clicking on this. You need to shift your variable. Test variable is income. I want to test income of which? Of on the basis of gender. It is showing me defined group. I'm defining for group 1 and for group 2. Pressing OK and clicking OK. Once I'll click OK, you would be able to see the output in the output window. I hope output is visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, you can see first table is the group statistics table. It is telling us the gender is male and female. We are having 8 male and 7 female, and this is the average income of male and female. Male are drawing 25,250 something average income, and female are 27,728. Standardization of income is giving in the next column, and next is telling me about the standard error of mean, right? Going down, talking about the independent samples t-test. So the first section is talking about the Levens test. Levens test generally we are using for checking the equal variance in the groups, whether in these two groups variance is equal or not. So here the p-value is, that is significant value is greater than 0.05. So we can say this thing, that we can conclude that there is equal variance available. So we will go to this particular row, and then we can find the t-value, degree of freedom, and its p-value. So p-value is again greater than 0.05. So if it is greater than 0.05, we can say that there is no significant difference in the mean salaries of male and female. That means we are going to accept the null hypothesis. So this would be your independent samples t-test. Is it fine? Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Further, we will talk about the next thing. That is now. Now what we will do? What we will do now?
Two sample t-test.
2 sample t-test. Anyone else? Which test I need to be performed? Anyone else?
Ma'am, ANOVA, I hope. So.
Ma'am, if age group is more than 2 groups, then we can use the ANOVA, I think.
Yes, very correct. So here we are having more than 2 groups, 1, 2, and 3. Age group 1, 21 to 32, 31 to 40, last 41 to 50, right? So we'll go for ANOVA. Very correct. So again, I'll go to the analyze. I'll go to the compare means and find here the one-way ANOVA. And then we can shift the income to the dependent and age to the factor. And you can press, just down it. You can press only OK to generate the output. You would be able to see the one-way ANOVA table, right? Visible to all or not?
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Yeah. So now you can see the F value is 0.247 and the significant value is 0.785, which is greater than 0.05. That means we are going to again accept the null hypothesis and conclude that there is no significant difference in the mean salaries on the basis of various age groups. Is it clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can we do the ANOVA within the 2 group comparison?
Means?
Means if we are comparing the 2 groups, can we use the ANOVA?
If you are comparing the 2 groups, no, sir. For comparing the two groups, I think we can go for the t-test, right? What is the need for going to ANOVA?
No, actually, when we're trying in the ANOVA in the SPSS, they are showing also that two group also we can do the ANOVA. That's why I'm
We
down.
can do that, no problem. You can do that. ANOVA in
Okay.
SPSS, you can do that also. But the
Okay.
problem is when we are having the t-test, so why to go for that?
Okay, okay, ma'am. Okay.
Yes. Anything else? Any other question? No? So, okay, fine. So I think this is all from my side for the day. I think in this small 1.5 hour session, I cannot discuss more about SPSS. We need to have a full FDP on that. On the basis of that, we can discuss more thing about the SPSS. Now I'm opening the forum for the question and answer. If you are having any questions, your questions are most welcome. Yes. Any questions, participants? No questions? Hello?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, okay, Priyanka, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think I'm done for the day.
Okay. I request all the participants, if you have any question, you can open your mic and ask to ma'am. And if no, then kindly just reply on chat that you have understood, so by which we can understand that you all are got an insight and have mindful about this little whatever ma'am has told you.